Captain Day-Wan stood on the bridge of the olive branch, staring at the message that had arrived 3 weeks ago. The holographic display showed symbols from dozens of languages, all translated into Korean by the ship's computer. It was an invitation. The Galactic Senate wanted to meet humanity. For the first time in human history, Earth was not alone. The discovery had come suddenly. Human scientists detected unusual patterns in deep space transmissions. Within months, an alien probe appeared near Mars. It carried a simple message. Other civilizations existed, and they wanted peace. The probe included coordinates to a place called Harmony's Rest, a massive station where thousands of species gathered to talk instead of fight. Earth's governments had worked together for once. They chose carefully. Ambassador Hyunwoo would lead the talks. He was a patient man who spoke 7 Earth languages and understood history better than anyone. Dr. Ji-won would represent Earth's scientists. She had spent her whole career studying the possibility of alien life. Now she would meet it face to face. Captain Day-Wan would command their ship. He had served in the Earth Defense Force for 20 years and knew how to keep people safe. The olive branch was not a warship, but it was not helpless either. Day-Wan had insisted on that. The ship had strong shields and fast engines. It could defend itself if needed. The hull was thick enough to survive impacts from space debris. The crew was small but well-trained. Day-Wan trusted every person on board. They had been traveling for 2 weeks through hyperspace. The alien probe had included instructions for building a hyperspace drive. Human engineers had studied the designs and built one in record time. The journey that should have taken thousands of years now took less than a month. Hyunwoo walked onto the bridge holding a tablet. He looked tired. Dark circles sat under his eyes. He had been studying galactic customs every night, trying to learn how to behave around aliens. "We're almost there," Day-Wan said. Hyunwoo nodded. "I've been reading about the Senate's rules. They take peace very seriously. Any species that shows aggression gets rejected immediately." "We're not aggressive," Day-Wan replied. "I know. But we need to be careful. First impressions matter." Dr. Ji-won entered the bridge, her eyes bright with excitement. She had barely slept since they entered hyperspace, too excited about meeting alien species. "I can't believe this is happening." "Do you know how many species will be there?" The probe data mentioned thousands. "Try to contain your enthusiasm," Hyunwoo said gently. "We don't want to seem too forward." The ship's computer beeped. "Approaching destination," it announced. "Exiting hyperspace in 60 seconds. Day-Wan sat in the captain's chair. "All crew to stations. Lieutenant Minho, I want shields at ready status." "Yes, sir," Minho replied from the security station. He was young but reliable, always alert. The ship shuddered as it dropped out of hyperspace. The view outside changed instantly. Before them floated the largest structure any human had ever seen. Harmony's Rest looked like a small moon, covered in lights and docking ports. Thousands of ships surrounded it, each one different from the next. Some looked like crystals. Others seemed to be made of living metal. A few were just spheres of light. "My God," Ji-won whispered. A transmission came through. The computer translated it into Korean. "Unknown vessel. This is Harmony's Rest traffic control. Please state your identity and purpose." Day-Wan opened a channel. "This is Captain Day-Wan of Earth's diplomatic vessel Olive Branch. We're here for the Millennium Peace Accords. We received an invitation." There was a long pause. Then the voice returned. "Earth confirmed. You are expected. Proceed to docking bay 773. Welcome to Harmony's Rest, humans." The word humans sounded strange in the alien voice, like the translator was not quite sure how to pronounce it. Day-Wan guided the ship toward the indicated docking bay. As they got closer, Ji-won pointed at the other ships. "Look at that one. It's biological. It's actually alive." "Focus, Doctor," Hyunwoo said, though he was staring too. The olive branch moved into the docking bay. Mechanical arms reached out and secured the ship gently. Outside the windows, they could see aliens moving around. Some walked on 2 legs. Others floated. A few seemed to phase in and out of sight. "Environmental scan complete," Minho reported. "The atmosphere is breathable for humans. Temperature is comfortable. Gravity is 0.8 Earth normal. Lighter than home," Day-Wan noted. "Everyone will feel stronger here. Be careful with your movements. Don't break anything." A docking tube connected to their airlock. Hyunwoo straightened his formal suit. "Remember the plan. We're here to make friends. Show respect. Follow their customs. Don't do anything that could be seen as threatening. We're diplomats, not soldiers, Jiwan added. Daewon smiled slightly. We're humans. Let's show them what that means. They walked to the airlock. Consul Yerim and Ensign Bora joined them, along with Lieutenant Minho. The security officer wore a formal uniform but no weapons. Earth's leaders had decided that bringing weapons to a peace conference would send the wrong message. The airlock opened. Beyond it stood 3 alien figures. The first was tall and thin, with 4 arms and skin that looked like polished green metal. Its eyes were huge and dark. The second was short and covered in fur, with 6 legs and a tail. The third seemed to be made of light, shifting between colors as it moved. Greetings, the tall one said. Its mouth did not move, but the words appeared in their minds. I am Senator Quillix. Welcome to Harmony's Rest. Hyunwoo bowed slightly the way he had practiced. Thank you, Senator. I am Ambassador Hyunwoo, representing Earth and humanity. It is an honor to be here. Quillix's eyes studied them carefully. You are smaller than we expected. The probe's data suggested you were larger. Humans come in different sizes, Hyunwoo explained. We average about 1.7 meters tall, and you evolved on a planet with 0.8 gravity? The question sounded confused. No, Senator. Earth's gravity is stronger. 1.0 standard units. All 3 aliens stepped back slightly. You evolved in higher gravity than this station provides? Quillix asked. Yes, is that unusual? The furry alien made a chittering sound. The translator converted it to words. Most species evolve in lower gravity. Higher gravity makes life difficult. Jiwan smiled, trying to be friendly. Humans are pretty tough. Earth is a challenging world, but we adapted. The smile seemed to disturb the aliens. Quillix's eyes widened. You are showing your teeth. Is this a threat display? What? No, Jiwan said quickly. It's a smile. It means we're happy and friendly. You show your teeth when you are friendly? The light being flickered nervously. Hyunwoo shot Jiwan a warning look. It's a human gesture of goodwill, Senator. We mean no disrespect. Quillix made a gesture with one of its 4 hands. Of course. We understand different species have different customs. Please follow us. We will show you to your quarters. The opening reception begins in 3 hours. The aliens led them through corridors filled with beings from across the galaxy. Everywhere they walked, aliens stopped and stared. Some pointed. Others moved away quickly. A small group of floating jellyfish-like creatures actually fled down a side corridor when Minho looked in their direction. Is it just me? Minho whispered. Or are they afraid of us? Nonsense, Hyunwoo whispered back. We haven't done anything wrong. But Daewon noticed it too. The stares were not curious. They were worried. Something about humans made these aliens nervous. Their quarters were comfortable but strange. The beds were too soft and the chairs were oddly shaped. Jiwan immediately started taking notes on everything she saw. Yerim began setting up communication equipment. Bora checked the room systems to make sure everything worked properly. Daewon pulled Hyunwoo aside. Did you see how they reacted to us? They're just not used to humans yet, Hyunwoo said. Give them time. Maybe, but be careful at the reception. Something tells me this is going to be harder than we thought. Outside their windows, the massive station continued its slow rotation. Thousands of species were gathering for the peace conference, and none of them knew what to make of the humans who had just arrived. The grand atrium was enormous. Daewon had seen large buildings before, but nothing like this. The ceiling stretched so high that clouds actually formed near the top. Gardens floated in the air without any visible support. Water flowed upward in spiraling fountains. And everywhere, aliens moved in groups, talking in hundreds of different languages. The human delegation stood at the entrance, trying not to look overwhelmed. Hyunwoo had changed into his formal diplomatic robes. Jiwan wore a clean lab coat over nice clothes, refusing to dress in anything else. Minho and the other security personnel wore dress uniforms. They looked sharp, professional, and completely out of place. Remember, Hyunwoo said quietly, be polite, be respectful, and don't touch anything unless someone offers. They walked into the atrium. Immediately, conversation stopped. Heads turned. Some aliens had multiple heads, and they all turned to look. A group of small rabbit-like creatures scattered away from their path. A tall, crystalline being actually cracked slightly, making a sound like breaking glass. Yerim tried to smile but remembered what happened earlier. Instead, she gave a small wave. This seemed to confuse a nearby group of tentacled aliens even more. Senator Quillix appeared, gliding across the floor. Ambassadors from Earth, please allow me to introduce you to some of the other delegates. Quillix led them to a group of various aliens standing near one of the floating gardens. This is Ambassador Thrinks of the Reptus Confederation. Thrinks was large, covered in bronze scales with intelligent eyes and a long tail. Unlike the other aliens, Thrinks did not seem afraid. Instead, he looked curious. Humans, Thrinks said, his voice deep and rumbling. I have read the initial reports about your species. You evolved as pursuit predators, correct? Jiwan's eyes lit up. Finally, someone who wanted to talk about science. Yes, humans used persistence hunting. We would chase prey for hours, sometimes days, until they collapsed from exhaustion. Our ability to sweat and regulate temperature gave us an advantage. The aliens around them went silent. Several stepped back. A small mouse-like delegate actually fainted, caught by a companion before hitting the floor. Thrinks tilted his head. Fascinating. And you still retain these hunting adaptations? Of course, Jiwan continued, not noticing the growing circle of empty space around them. Humans can run for hours without stopping. We have incredible endurance. Some humans run over 100 kilometers for fun. We call them marathons. You hunt for fun? A small voice squeaked. The speaker was a furry, round alien that reminded Daewon of a hamster. No. Hyunwoo cut in, shooting Jiwan a warning look. We don't hunt anymore. Not for food, anyway. Modern humans are civilized. We farm, we trade, we cooperate. But you could hunt, the hamster alien said nervously. If you wanted to. Well, yes, technically, Jiwan admitted. But we don't want to. We're peaceful. Daewon noticed Quillix speaking urgently into some kind of communication device. Other aliens were doing the same. Whatever the humans were saying, it was causing a reaction. Thrinks seemed amused. Tell me about your planet, Dr. Jiwan. What is Earth like? It's beautiful, Jiwan said warmly. We have vast oceans, huge mountain ranges, thick forests, and wide deserts. The climate varies dramatically. We have ice caps at the poles and tropical regions at the equator. And the gravity? Thrinks asked. 1 standard unit, as we told Senator Quillix. Remarkable, Thrinks said. Most species evolve on lighter worlds. High gravity makes movement difficult and requires stronger biology. Yareem had wandered over to a group of merchant-looking aliens. She was trying to start conversations about trade agreements. Earth has many resources to offer, she said enthusiastically. We have diverse manufacturing capabilities, and we're very adaptable. One of the merchants, a being that looked like a floating collection of geometric shapes, asked, What is your species' average lifespan? About 80 to 90 standard years, Yareem replied. Though medical advances are extending that. The geometric alien spun rapidly. So short. And you still accomplish space travel? We're fast learners, Yareem said proudly. Humans don't give up easily. Across the atrium, Minho stood at attention near a pillar, observing the crowd like he had been trained. His eyes constantly moved, checking for threats that did not exist. His posture was perfect, his muscles ready. To the humans, he looked professional. To the aliens, he looked like a coiled spring ready to explode. A security drone floated near Minho, scanning him. The readings it sent back to the control center were alarming. The human's heart rate was steady at 60 beats per minute. His adrenaline levels were elevated but controlled. His muscle density was 3 times higher than most species. And his reflexes, when tested with a subtle light pulse, were frighteningly fast. Back with the main group, Hyunwoo was trying to steer the conversation toward art and culture. Humans have produced beautiful music, literature, and visual arts for thousands of years. We value creativity and expression. Your species makes art? A willowy plant-like alien asked. It sounded surprised, of course. Doesn't every species? Not predator species, the plant alien said quietly. They typically focus on survival and dominance. We're not just predators, Hyunwoo insisted. Humans are omnivores. We eat plants too. This somehow made things worse. Several aliens made distressed sounds. The hamster alien spoke up again, voice shaking. You can digest both plant and animal matter? Your biology is that flexible? Yes, humans can eat almost anything. We're very adaptable. Thrinks made a sound that might have been laughter. Impressive. On my world, we consider adaptability the mark of survivors. Jiwan was getting excited again. Oh, humans are definitely survivors. We've lived through ice ages, volcanic winters, droughts, floods, and diseases that killed millions. We keep coming back stronger. The circle of empty space around the humans grew larger. A bell-like sound rang through the atrium. Senator Quillix raised one of his 4 hands. Distinguished delegates, please find your seats. The welcoming feast will begin shortly. The aliens moved toward a vast dining area. Tables floated at different heights, accommodating species of various sizes and shapes. The humans followed, trying to figure out where they should sit. A server approached them, a blob-like creature with multiple eye stalks. Honored guests from Earth, we have prepared a special menu based on the nutritional data from your probe. Please this way. They were led to a table at human height. The chairs were still wrong, but they managed. Food appeared on their plates brought by floating trays. It looked strange but smelled good. Hyunwoo picked up something that resembled a vegetable and ate it carefully. It tasted sweet and slightly spicy. This is excellent, he said to the server. We are pleased, the server replied. We were concerned about preparing food for a species with such a, aggressive digestive system. Aggressive? Yerim asked. The data indicated humans can safely consume mild toxins and high levels of acids. Your stomach environment is quite extreme. I suppose so, Yerim said. We never really thought about it. At the next table, aliens were eating things that glowed or moved slightly. Jiwon watched, fascinated. One alien simply absorbed its food through its skin. Another seemed to photosynthesize under special lights. Minho remained standing near their table, still watching. Hyunwoo gestured to him. Minho, please sit and eat. I'm on duty, sir. There's no threat here. Sit down. Reluctantly, Minho sat, but he did not relax. His eyes kept moving, checking exits, monitoring the crowd. Old habits. At the head table, Senator Quillix was speaking with other senior delegates. The humans seem friendly enough, one said, a being made of crystallized sound. Friendly, yes, Quillix replied. But look at them. Forward-facing eyes, dense muscle structure, high-gravity adaptation. They are apex predators. They said they don't hunt anymore, they don't have to. That is what makes them dangerous. They have predator biology with no need to use it. All that hunting instinct controlled and directed by intelligence. Should we reject their application? I don't know yet. Let us watch and learn. Back at the human table, Yerim was laughing at something Bora had said. The sound echoed through the atrium, loud and sudden. It was a human laugh, full and genuine. To human ears, it was pleasant. To alien ears, it sounded like a warning bark. 3 tables away, a group of small insect-like beings triggered their defense mechanisms. They released a cloud of pheromones that made nearby aliens drowsy. A plant species curled up into a protective ball. The crystalline being cracked again. What happened? Jiwon asked, confused. Thrinks, sitting at a nearby table, spoke up. I believe your companion's vocalization startled them? Many species interpret sudden loud sounds as danger signals. Yerim covered her mouth. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare anyone. It is not your fault, Thrinks said kindly. Cultural differences require patience from all of us. Day One leaned close to Hyunwoo. This isn't going well. They're afraid of us. We just need to show them we're peaceful. Give it time, but Day One was not sure time would help. Every innocent human behavior seemed to terrify the aliens. Their strength scared them. Their endurance worried them. Their adaptability disturbed them. And the humans had no idea why, as the feast continued. Word spread through the station's communication networks. The humans were here. They were strong, fast, durable, and adaptable. They came from a high-gravity death world. The Senate chamber was massive and circular, with seating arranged in rising tiers. Thousands of delegates filled the space representing species from across the galaxy. At the center was a platform where each delegation would present their species and their contributions to galactic peace. Hyunwoo stood backstage with his team, going over their presentation one last time. They had worked on it for weeks, carefully selecting images and information that would showcase humanity's achievements and peaceful intentions. Remember, he said to the others, we want to emphasize cooperation, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. We're here to make friends. Got it, Jiwon said, though she was clearly more excited about presenting Earth's biodiversity than anything diplomatic. Bora checked the presentation equipment one more time. Everything is ready, Ambassador. The holographic projectors are compatible with their systems. A chime sounded. Senator Quillix appeared. Ambassadors from Earth, you are next. Please take the stage when High Chancellor Vimora calls your name. They walked to the edge of the platform and waited. On stage, a species of liquid-based beings was finishing their presentation, showing peaceful underwater cities and advanced filtration technology. The audience applauded, making sounds that ranged from chirps to musical tones. High Chancellor Vemera floated at the head of the chamber, the energy being pulsed with different colors as it spoke. Thank you to the Aqueous Collective. Next, we welcome a new species to our gathering. For the first time, we hear from the planet Earth and its people, humanity. Please welcome Ambassador Hyunwoo. The humans walked onto the platform. Hyunwoo tried not to feel nervous as thousands of alien eyes watched them. He took a breath and began. Honorable Chancellor, esteemed senators, distinguished delegates, I am Ambassador Hyunwoo, and it is my great honor to represent humanity today. We come before you in peace, seeking friendship and cooperation with the galactic community. The holographic display activated, showing an image of Earth from space. It was beautiful, blue and white and green, hanging against the black of space. This is our home, Hyunwoo continued. Earth, the third planet from our sun, and the birthplace of humanity and millions of other species. The image zoomed in, showing continents and oceans. Then it began to show Earth's features. Massive mountain ranges, vast deserts, deep oceans, thick forests. Earth is a dynamic world, Hyunwoo said proudly. Our planet is geologically active with moving continents, volcanic activity, and constant change. The display showed a volcanic eruption. Red lava poured down mountainsides. Ash clouds rose into the sky. To the humans, it was a natural wonder. To the aliens, it looked like a nightmare. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Jiwon noticed and whispered, "Should we skip the geological slides?" "No," Hyunwoo whispered back. "This is part of our world. They need to understand where we come from." The presentation continued, showing hurricanes and tornadoes, earthquakes and tsunamis. Each image demonstrated Earth's power and volatility. Despite these challenges, Hyunwoo said, life on Earth is incredibly diverse and resilient. Humanity evolved alongside millions of other species, learning to adapt and survive in many different environments. The display changed to show Earth's history, cave paintings, ancient cities, agricultural development, the Industrial Revolution, space exploration. Humanity's journey has not been easy, Hyunwoo admitted. We survived ice ages that covered much of our planet in glaciers. We endured volcanic winters that blocked out the sun. We overcame diseases that killed millions. Each challenge made us stronger and more determined. In the audience, delegates shifted uncomfortably. The hamster alien from yesterday was trembling. Several species were recording everything, sending data to their homeworlds. Dr. Jiwon took over the presentation. She could barely contain her enthusiasm. Human biology is adapted for Earth's conditions. We evolved as endurance hunters, capable of tracking prey across great distances. The display showed anatomical diagrams, human musculature, the skeletal system, the cardiovascular system. Humans have exceptional stamina, Jiwon explained. Our bodies can regulate temperature through sweating, allowing us to run for hours without overheating. Our legs are designed for efficient long-distance travel. Our respiratory system provides high oxygen delivery to muscles during extended activity. Dr. Jiwon, Hyunwoo said quietly, trying to slow her down. But Jiwon was in her element. The human healing system is remarkable. We can recover from broken bones, deep cuts, and significant blood loss. Our immune system fights off countless pathogens. We can survive injuries that would be fatal to many species. General Calvin, watching from the military observation box, made a note. Extreme physical resilience, high pain tolerance, rapid healing capabilities. Dr. Junho stepped forward for his section. The human physician had prepared information about human medicine and health. Humanity has developed advanced medical technology. We can perform complex surgeries, treat genetic disorders, and extend our natural lifespan significantly. And what is your natural lifespan? Someone in the audience asked. Approximately 80 to 90 years without medical intervention, Junho replied. With proper care, some humans live past 100 years. So brief, the questioner murmured. How did you achieve so much in such short lives? Humans are efficient, Junho said simply. We learn quickly and share knowledge across generations. Yareem took the stage next, discussing human culture and society. Humanity values cooperation and community. We form strong social bonds. We create art, music, and literature. We develop complex societies based on mutual support. Tell us about human diet, someone called out. It was Ambassador Thrinks, still looking curious rather than afraid. Yerem smiled, then remembered not to show teeth. Humans are omnivores. We can eat both plant and animal matter. Our digestive system is very adaptable. How adaptable? Thrinks pressed. Very. Humans can safely consume foods that contain mild toxins. We can eat in a wide range of temperatures. Our stomach acid is quite strong, allowing us to digest many different substances. More murmurs. The plant alien from yesterday curled up slightly. We even domesticated other species, G1 added helpfully. We turned wolves into dogs, made them our companions. We domesticated cattle, chickens, horses, and many others. You conquered other predator species? A voice asked, shocked. No, not conquered. We formed partnerships. Dogs help us hunt and guard our homes. In return, we feed and protect them. It's cooperation. You hunt with enslaved predators? They're not enslaved. G1 protested. Dogs love humans. It's a mutual relationship built over thousands of years. Daewon took the stage for the final section, discussing human space exploration. The display showed early rockets, the first moon landing, space stations, and finally the olive branch. Humanity has always looked to the stars, Daewon said. We began exploring space before we achieved global peace. Our drive to explore and discover is fundamental to who we are. The display showed the olive branch in detail. Its sleek hull, powerful engines, and defensive systems. Wait. General Calthan's voice boomed from the observation box. That is a modified military vessel. Daewon paused. Yes, General. The olive branch was originally designed for Earth's defense fleet. We modified it for diplomatic purposes, but it retains military capabilities. Basic defensive capabilities, yes. We would not travel the unknown galaxy without protection. You brought a warship to a peace conference? We brought a ship that can defend itself if necessary. Daewon corrected. Would you prefer we arrived completely helpless? The chamber erupted in debate. Some delegates argued that bringing any military technology violated the spirit of the peace conference. Others countered that basic self-defense was reasonable. Hyun-woo tried to regain control. Please, honored delegates. The olive branch has never fired a weapon. We come in peace, perhaps, Quillick said, standing. But let us review what you have told us today. You evolved on a high-gravity death world with extreme weather. You are pursuit predators with exceptional endurance. You can survive injuries and conditions that would kill most species. You domesticated other predators to hunt with you. You explored space before ending your own conflicts, and you arrived in a warship. It's not a warship, Daewon insisted. It was built as one, Quilix countered. The distinction is semantic. Thrinks stood as well. I would speak. The floor recognizes Ambassador Thrinks, Vemora said. Fellow delegates, I believe we are allowing fear to cloud our judgment. Yes, humans are formidable. Yes, they evolved in harsh conditions. But look at what else they have shown us. They create art. They value cooperation. They seek peace. Their strength does not make them evil. Their strength makes them dangerous, another senator argued. We have rules about admitting predator species for good reason. The last time we welcomed an apex predator species, they nearly destroyed the galactic community. That was 10,000 years ago, Thrinks countered. And the scars remain. We lost hundreds of species to those conquerors. We cannot risk repeating that mistake. Hyun-woo raised his hands. Please, we are not conquerors. Humanity has learned from its own conflicts. We understand the value of peace. You achieved space travel before world peace, Quilix pointed out. You explored the stars while still fighting among yourselves, yes, Hyun-woo admitted. But we did achieve peace. The human delegation sat in their quarters waiting. Hours had passed since their disastrous presentation. No one had contacted them. No messages arrived. They were isolated, cut off from the rest of the conference. Hyun-woo paced back and forth. He had prepared for many scenarios, but not this. He had expected curiosity, maybe some cultural misunderstandings, but not fear, not rejection. We should never have mentioned the hunting, Ji-won said quietly. She sat on the strange alien couch looking miserable. I ruined everything. You told the truth, Daewon said. We all did. The truth made them terrified. Yerim was staring at her communication tablet, though no new messages appeared. Do you think they'll reject us? Send us home? I don't know, Hyun-woo admitted. The Senate has never rejected a species that came peacefully before. But there's a first time for everything. Bora walked to the window looking out at the station. There are so many species out there. Thousands of different civilizations all working together. We could have been part of that. We still might be, Minho said, though he did not sound convinced. A soft chime interrupted them. Hyunwoo quickly activated the communication panel. Yes? Ambassador Hyunwoo, this is Sujin from engineering. We have a situation down here. I think you should know. What kind of situation? The station's engineers are having problems with a critical system. Life support for 3 habitat sections. I was walking past and heard them talking. It sounds serious. Hyunwoo looked at the others. Can you help them? Maybe? I'd need to see the problem. But Ambassador, they specifically told human personnel to stay in quarters. I'm not supposed to be in the engineering sections. Where are you now? Hiding around a corner, watching them work. They look really stressed. Daewon moved to the communication panel. Sujin, describe what you see. There's a large console with a bunch of flashing red symbols. Smoke is coming from one panel. The alien engineers keep touching things, but nothing seems to help. One of them looks like they're about to cry, or whatever their species does when upset. Hyunwoo made a decision. Can you help without being seen? I don't think so. The problem is right there in the open. Then offer to help. If they reject you, respect that and leave. But offer. Yes, sir. The communication went silent. The humans waited tensely. 10 minutes later, Sujin's voice returned, excited. Ambassador! They let me help! The problem was a feedback loop in the cooling system. I bypassed the damaged circuit and rerouted through a secondary system. It took about 5 minutes. They're calling me a genius, but honestly, it was pretty basic engineering. Despite everything, Hyunwoo smiled. Good work, Sujin. Come back to quarters now. Actually, sir, they're asking if I can look at another problem. A power distribution issue. Is that okay? Daewon nodded to Hyunwoo. Let her help. It might improve their opinion of us. Go ahead, Sujin, but be respectful and careful. Always am, sir. Sujin out. Meanwhile, in another part of the station, Young-ho from the Human Cultural Division had wandered into what appeared to be a common area. He had not been told to stay in quarters because he was not part of the main diplomatic team. He was just a junior cultural attaché, supposed to help with translation and cultural questions. He found a group of young aliens, various species, sitting in a circle. They looked bored. When Young-ho entered, they stared at him with the same nervous fear he had seen everywhere. Sorry, Young-ho said quickly. I didn't mean to intrude. I was just exploring. One of the young aliens, something that looked like a small blue lizard, spoke up. You're one of the humans. Yes, I'm Young-ho. I work with the Earth delegation. Are you dangerous? Another asked, a floating orb of energy. Young-ho sat down slowly, making himself less threatening. No, I'm just a person. I like music and art. I'm not scary. But you're a predator, the lizard said. Technically, yes. But I've never hunted anything in my life. I buy food from stores. I don't even like the idea of hunting. The orb floated closer. What do you do for fun? I play music. I paint. I read books. Want to see? Young-ho pulled out his tablet and showed them images of Earth art. Paintings by human masters, sculptures, digital art. Then he played music, different styles from different cultures. Classical symphonies, traditional folk songs, modern electronic music. The young aliens moved closer, fascinated. The fear in their eyes slowly changed to curiosity. This is beautiful, the lizard said quietly. I thought predators only cared about hunting and fighting. Most species have art, Young-ho said. I think maybe adults focus too much on survival stuff. Art is about being alive, not just surviving. In the Senate chambers, the debate continued. General Cal then stood before the assembled delegates, presenting his analysis. Honored senators, my investigation reveals troubling patterns. Humans evolved as apex predators on a Class 9 death world. For comparison, most species in the Senate evolved on Class 1 or Class 2 worlds. The environmental pressures on Earth produced a species optimized for survival in extreme conditions. The display showed charts and data. Human physical capabilities compared to other species. All the numbers were alarming. Their bone density is triple the galactic average. Their muscle efficiency is unprecedented. Their sensory systems are designed for hunting. They can track prey by sight, sound, and even scent. They can survive for days without food or water. Their pain tolerance is extreme. We have seen no aggressive behavior, Thrinks argued from his seat. Not yet, Cal then countered, but the capacity is there. Look at their history. They fought among themselves for thousands of years. Constant warfare. They only achieved peace recently, and only after developing weapons capable of destroying their own planet. Many species had troubled histories, Thrink said. Not like this, not at this scale, and not with these capabilities. Scholar Mix, an ancient being whose species had been part of the Senate since its founding, spoke up. Her voice was weak but carried authority. I remember the last time we faced a decision like this. The Corval species. They were powerful, aggressive, and came to us claiming peace. The chamber went silent. Everyone knew the story. The Corval seemed friendly at first, Mix continued. But their nature revealed itself. Within 50 years, they had started wars across 3 sectors. It took the combined might of the entire Senate to stop them. We lost hundreds of member species. Entire civilizations destroyed. The humans are not the Corval, Thrinks insisted. Perhaps not, Mix said. But can we risk being wrong? Senator Quillick stood. I propose we call the human ambassador to testify. Let him answer direct questions about human intentions. Agreed, Vemora said. Send for Ambassador Hyunwoo. Back in the human quarters, the summons arrived. Hyunwoo straightened his robes. This is it. They're making their decision. What will you say? Jiwon asked. The truth. It's all I have. Daewon put a hand on his shoulder. Good luck. Hyunwoo walked to the Senate chambers alone. The halls seemed longer than before. Aliens he passed moved away from him. Some pointed. Others whispered. He entered the chamber and walked to the central platform. Thousands of eyes watched him. The weight of their judgment was heavy. Ambassador Hyunwoo, Vemora said, the energy being pulsing with serious colors. The Senate has questions. I am ready to answer, Chancellor, Quaylick spoke first. Are humans capable of violence? Yes, Hyunwoo said honestly. All species are, I believe. But humans are especially capable, correct? Your biology is designed for combat. Our biology is designed for survival. Violence was a tool our ancestors used when necessary. Modern humans prefer peace. Prefer? Quillick pressed. That suggests you still have the capacity for violence. We do. But having a capacity and using it are different things. General Calthan spoke. Your species achieved space travel before world peace. You explored the stars while still at war with yourselves. This suggests aggressive expansion as part of human nature. It suggests we're curious and determined, Hyunwoo countered. Yes, we explored space during conflicts. But we also used space exploration to bring our world together. The International Space Station was built by countries that were enemies. Working together in space helped us learn to work together on Earth. Why should we trust you? Another senator asked. What evidence do you have that humans will not become conquerors? Hyunwoo took a breath. I cannot prove what humans will not do. I can only tell you what we want. We want to learn. We want to share knowledge. We want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. For thousands of years, humans thought we were alone in the universe. Now we know we're not. That changes everything. Pretty words, Cal then said. But words are not evidence. Then what would you accept as evidence? Hyunwoo asked, frustrated. We came here peacefully. We followed your protocols. We shared information about ourselves honestly. What more can we do? Perhaps, Mick said slowly. The question is not what they can do, but what they will do when tested. What kind of test? Vemora asked. Before Mix could answer, an alarm sounded through the station. Red lights flashed. A mechanical voice announced in dozens of languages. Emergency, emergency. Passenger vessel Aurora Star experiencing critical failure. Decaying orbit. All vessels in range respond. The Senate chamber erupted in activity. Delegates shouted questions. Displays showed a large passenger ship falling toward a nearby moon, its engines dead. How many passengers? Day 1 was already running toward the docking bay when the emergency alert reached his communicator. Hyunwoo's message was brief. Emergency rescue. Get the ship ready. Now. The captain reached the olive branch in record time, his heart pounding. The rest of the crew was right behind him. Minho, Jiwon, Sujin, Bora, and a dozen others. They moved with practiced efficiency, each person knowing exactly what to do. Status report. Daewon called out as he took his seat on the bridge. Engines warming up, Sujin reported from engineering. We can launch in 3 minutes. Navigation locked on target, Bora said. Distance 2 million kilometers. Time to intercept, 47 minutes at maximum speed. How long until that ship hits atmosphere? Daewon asked. 2 hours and 31 minutes, Minho replied, checking the data. Captain, the ship has 1,500 passengers. Hull integrity is failing. If they hit atmosphere, everyone dies. Then we better not let them hit atmosphere. In the Senate Observation Center, thousands of delegates watched on massive displays. The Aurora Star was a passenger liner, designed for comfortable travel between systems. It was not built to survive what was about to happen. The ship tumbled slowly in space, its engines dark and silent. Debris floated around it. What happened to it? Someone asked. Cascade failure in the main power core, a technician reported. Complete systems shutdown. They're on emergency power only. Can they restart the engines? No, the damage is too severe. General Cal then stood with his arms crossed, watching the human ship. They will fail. That vessel is too small for a rescue of this scale. Perhaps, Thrink said beside him. But they are trying. The Olive Branch launched from its docking bay with more speed than anyone expected. The ship moved like it was alive, responding instantly to its pilot's commands. Bora pushed the engines hard, accelerating to velocities that made the watching aliens nervous. They are exceeding safe speed limits, an alien controller said. It's an emergency, Yunwu replied. He stood in the observation center, watching with everyone else. They know what they're doing. How can you be certain? Because that's Captain Daewon. He's the best pilot Earth has. On the Olive Branch, Daewon was proving those words true. The ship raced toward the Aurora Star, covering distance that should have taken an hour in less than 45 minutes. G-forces pressed the crew into their seats. Any normal species would have passed out. The humans gritted their teeth and kept working. 20 seconds to intercept, Bora announced. All hands prepare for boarding operations. Daewon ordered. Minho, you're in charge of the rescue teams. Get those people off that ship. Yes, sir. The Olive Branch matched velocity with the tumbling Aurora Star. It was delicate work, synchronizing with a spinning, uncontrolled vessel. Daewon's hands moved across the controls with steady precision. Sweat ran down his face, but his hands never trembled. Docking clamps engaged, Sujin reported. We have a seal. Boarding teams go. Minho led the first team through the airlock. The Aurora Star's interior was dark and cold. Emergency lights flickered. The air was thin. Passengers huddled in groups, various species all terrified. We're here to help, Minho called out. His translator broadcast in multiple languages. Follow us to the Olive Branch. Quickly and calmly. The alien passengers stared at the humans in their rescue suits. Some hesitated, remembering the warnings about the dangerous humans. But fear of death is stronger than fear of strangers. Move, 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 Minho urged. He helped a small elderly alien who was having trouble walking. The being weighed almost nothing in his arms. You're safe now. We've got you. Dr. Jiwon and Dr. Junho set up a triage area just inside the Olive Branch. Injured passengers came through first. Jiwon worked on a crystalline being that had cracked in the accident. Yunho treated a mammalian alien with a broken leg. They moved fast, adapting human medical techniques to alien biology. This one's not breathing, a crew member called out. Junho ran over. The patient was one of the jellyfish-like species, its transparent body not moving. Junho had no idea how their biology worked, but he tried anyway. He carefully stimulated what looked like a central organ. Once, twice, 3 times. The alien shuddered and started moving again. Got you, Junho whispered. Not today. On the bridge, Bora watched the Aurora Star's decaying orbit. Captain, we have a problem. The additional mass from the rescue is pulling us down too. We're being drawn toward the moon. How long do we have? 40 minutes at current rate. How many people still on the Aurora Star? 632. Daewon made the calculation instantly. Not enough time. They could not evacuate everyone before both ships hit atmosphere. Sujin, he called down to engineering. Can we restart the Aurora Star's engines? I'd have to look at them, Captain. But probably not. The damage looked catastrophic. Look anyway. Take whoever you need. Sujin grabbed 2 crew members and ran back through the airlock. They found the Aurora Star's engine room through the dark corridors. The sight was not good. Burned circuits, melted components, everything dead. This is impossible, one of the crew members said. Nothing is impossible, Sujin replied. Just difficult. Help me here. She opened access panels studying the alien technology. It was different from human engineering, but the principles were the same. Power fuel ignition, She started rerouting systems, bypassing damaged sections. In the Senate Observation Center, the watching aliens could not believe what they were seeing. The humans moved through the crisis like it was just another day. No panic, no hesitation, just determination. Look at their heart rates, a medical observer said. Elevated but controlled. They're under massive stress, but they keep functioning. That's the persistence hunter biology, Cal then said quietly. They don't stop. They just keep going. Ambassador Thrink smiled. Now do you see? This is what humans are. Not conquerors, survivors, and they won't survive alone. On the Olive Branch, Minho and his teams continued evacuating passengers. 400 left. 300. 200. They worked in rotating shifts, humans grabbing quick water breaks before diving back in. Their muscles ached. Their lungs burned. They did not stop. Bora called out from the bridge. 30 minutes to atmosphere entry. Sujin, how are those engines? Daewon asked. Working on it. Sujin's voice came back strained. This technology is complicated. You're the best engineer Earth has. Figure it out. Sujin laughed despite the situation. No pressure, right? She worked faster, her hands moving with practiced skill. The alien crew members on the Aurora Star watched in amazement. She understood their technology better than they did, saw patterns they had missed. There, Sujin said finally. Try it now. The Aurora Star's engines flickered, died, flickered again, then roared to life. We have power, the Aurora Star's captain announced through the communication link. Emergency power only, but it's enough. The dying ship's engines fired, weak but functional. The descent slowed. The Olive Branch added its own engines, pulling upward. Together, the two ships fought against gravity's pull. It's working, Bora said. We're climbing. Slowly but climbing. 100 passengers left to evacuate, Minho reported. We can do this. But the engines were failing again. The Aurora Star had been pushed beyond its limits. Warning alarm screamed through both ships. We're losing altitude again, Bora said. 15 minutes to atmosphere. Daewon looked at the numbers. They could not evacuate everyone in time. They could not maintain altitude much longer. There was only one option. All crew secure for emergency burn. We're going to push both ships out of orbit. Captain, the stress could tear both ships apart, Sujin warned. Then we better hold them together. Do it. The Olive Branch's engines fired at full power beyond design specifications. The ship shook violently. Metal groaned. But the humans held their positions, fighting against forces that would break most species. Daewon's hands gripped the controls. His vision narrowed. Every muscle in his body strained against the acceleration. He pushed the ship harder, harder, more. In the observation center, the aliens watched in stunned silence. The numbers should not work. The ship should be tearing apart. But somehow, impossibly, the humans were making it work. Their ship's hull integrity is at 60%, a technician reported. 40%. Captain Daewon is going to kill his crew. But the humans did not stop. They endured. They persisted. They refused to let 1,500 souls die while they had breath in their bodies. The ships climbed. Meter by meter, kilometer by kilometer. Out of the moon's gravity well. Back toward safe space, final passengers boarding now. Minho called out. That's everyone. Sujin, kill the Aurora Star's engines before they explode, Daewon ordered. We'll tow them the rest of the way. Engines offline. Captain, our hull integrity is at 20%. We need to slow down. Not yet. A little further. 10 more seconds, 20, 30. We're clear, Bora announced. Safe orbit achieved. Daewon finally eased back on the engines. The ship stopped shaking. The crew slumped in their seats, exhausted. They had done it. All 1,500 passengers saved. No losses. In the observation center, the aliens erupted in shocked celebration. Species that had never agreed on anything were united in amazement. High Chancellor Vemera pulsed with brilliant colors. Impossible, General Calden said. They should not have survived. The forces involved, but they did survive.